My name is Karl Karufel, and this is Turnbuckle Talk. Episode 272 coming your way, broadcasting live over on twitch.tv/lovewrestlingca, and then audio and video formats within 24 hours put out to YouTube on Turnbuckle Studios, as well as any podcatcher that you can catch broadcasts on. I'm coming to you from deep within inside the Wrestle House tonight with a plethora of different topics to go over here tonight. So I'm just going to get right into it here. So lots of different things have come about, lots of different things have happened, and a lot of it seems to be WWE stuff that has happened. That's what we're going to be talking about for the most part today. We will be talking a little bit about Doug Williams. We'll be talking a little bit about Kenny Omega as well. And we will be talking about this amazing card for Love Pro Wrestling 4 coming up this weekend. To start things off, though, so we just went through and had an amazing matchup and a title unification. Noob, good evening to you. How are you? So glad you're here. Thank you for stopping by. So we had this title unification that happened in the tag team division. Now, spoiler alert, we did see the Usos become the new unified Raw and SmackDown tag team champions. But from what I'm hearing and from what I'm seeing from different reports is that is not exactly the way that things were supposed to go. According to several reports, the title unification was actually a last-minute decision. It's something that they really didn't want to do, but because they had been kind of teasing it, they decided to go ahead with it. And they actually had Randy Orton and Riddle going over in this matchup. Now, we have learned later on that Randy Orton is kind of dealing with a few aches and pains right now. So maybe that was a deciding factor into the reason why the Usos went over and won. But supposedly, both teams were going to keep their championships because it was supposed to end in a disqualification with the involvement of Roman Reigns. So now lots of people have been throwing out their ideas and their reasonings for this. And really, I think the only reason that I can come up with for this is that, yes, Randy Orton may be dealing with some issues with some aches and some pains right now. So what better way for him to maybe take a little bit of time off? Maybe have Riddle turn on him or Randy Orton turn on Riddle. Either way, one way or the other, and allow Randy Orton this little bit of time for him to go and recoup himself a little bit. It's being said that he's got some back issues, some back problems that's going on. Astrid up here in the chat. How are you, my dear? Love you. Thank you so much for coming by. If you guys want to hear from Astrid later on, beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you guys are going to be able to catch NXT TEA, where they're spilling the tea on everything NXT. Hopefully we're going to see all three of them there tonight. Ed, Astrid, and Cody, hopefully. But any way you slice it, it's a fantastic show, and you need to go and watch that at 10 p.m. tonight, right here on Love Wrestling's Twitch channel. So I'm okay with the Usos taking the championships. I'm okay with the Usos having both the championships right now because it works. When it comes to storylines, it's working right now, considering that we have Roman Reigns holding both the Raw and the SmackDown heavyweight championships, the World Universal and World Universal Heavyweight Championship is pretty much what they're calling it now. The Universal Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship combined. I don't know if they're going to really make a name change per se when it comes to the tag team titles because, well, they were just known as the Raw and the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Maybe they'll just start calling them the Tag Team Championships. Maybe. Astrid giving me a little bit of confirmation says that it's two of them tonight. So I assume that that's going to be you and Ed. And you are so welcome, Astrid. Anytime. You guys have always been a great support for me, and I always want to be a great support for you. And that's just what happens here with the community with Love Wrestling. We all are very supportive of what everybody does, and we want to make sure that we're calling that out as well. I'm very supportive of what's happening right now with the Usos. I like the direction that they're taking things and that they're going, and just allowing things to kind of play out with this whole bloodline that they've got going on, and having them hold just about all the championships. Now, if they really want to solidify things, they will have each one of the Usos go for the United States Championship and the Intercontinental Championship, and then just have the bloodline holding absolutely everything. It's been a long time since we have seen something like that, and I think it is due time for that to happen. Astrid saying that she is glad every time she gets to watch this show, and I'm so thankful for that, and I hope all of you are thankful for that as well. Again, if you're listening to this on audio format, if you want to see the video, go and check out Turnbuckle Studios on YouTube. Ring that bell, and you'll be notified every time that a new episode drops, along with all the other programming that is on there. And then if you're watching this back at a later time, and you want to be part of the conversation, make your way over here. Generally, it is 6:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My shoot job had me working until 7 p.m., so I went on for 8. Noob coming in here. Thank you so much for this, because every time that you guys comment, I love it, because you are all my co-hosts when it comes to this. I don't have the availability to have a radio call-in show. I would love to, but I don't have that availability, so this is the best way for that to happen. Be part of the show. Come and see me live. Noob saying the whole bloodline storyline is becoming boring for everyone. Well, I don't know. It's not for me. It's not. It's not becoming boring for me yet. I think that they still have a lot that they can really do with the storyline, and I hope that they do. I really, really hope that they do. I mean, you take a look. How long has Degeneration X? How long did they go for? Right, they've gone for such a long time, and then you've got the NWO as well. They went for such a long time, and things really worked. And I think that with this, if done properly, things could really work out in the favor of the bloodline. And I think that it would be fantastic if they were to continue on with that, to make things even better. Talking a little bit about Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns at one time was part of another faction called the Shield. And in the Shield, one of his teammates in there was Seth freaking Rollins. Now, you want to talk about getting boring? For me, this is now becoming boring. We're seeing Cody and Seth Rollins. Cody and Seth. Cody and Seth. Cody and Seth. And now we have Cody and Seth set for Hell in a Cell. I am almost done and over with this whole Cody and Seth thing. It's been working for a while. It definitely has been. And I think Seth was probably one of the best people that they could have had for Cody to come back into the WWE brand and face. He was a good person for him to come in there to help build the name of Cody Rhodes with the WWE universe that may not be familiar with Cody. Because a lot of people who are WWE fans aren't necessarily AEW fans, and maybe not necessarily fans of the independent scene either. So some of these people who are new into the professional wrestling might not know who Cody Rhodes is. So I think that Seth was the good thing for that. I will put this comment up there because I do agree with this. Noob is saying, if you thought Seth versus Cody was boring, try Becky versus Bianca Belair. It's getting boring. I agree with that. That feud is getting boring to me as well. In the beginning, Seth and Cody, I was all for. I loved it. But I think we're getting a little bit too much now, and I'm over it. I'm over it. I want to see, hopefully this is the last match that they're going to have, and then hopefully we'll get to see Cody move on to somebody else. Just as I think this whole thing with Becky and Bianca should as well. I'm tired of it. I'm done with it. But I'm also happy that the women are getting a place and a showcase such as this as well, because say what you want about either one of their characters, okay, both of them are fantastic inside of that ring, and they do put on a really good show. They tell a great story. They do. But sometimes too much of a good thing is not good. And I think that that's the point that I'm at right now with both of these feuds, with Seth and Cody and Becky and Bianca. Sometimes too much of a good thing is just too freaking much. No pun intended. So we're going to see that at Hell in a Cell. And like I said, I'm hoping that that's going to be it. That's going to be the final thing that we're going to see from the both of them. For both of these feuds, even. I'm going to put that out there now for both of these feuds. So we'll have to see. I don't know. Noob coming in here again saying because Asuka and Bianca are getting great. We want to see Asuka versus Bianca is a thing until fans want a triple threat match having Becky in that Raw Women's title match at Hell in a Cell. Yeah. Right? You're so correct there. You know, personally, I am not a fan of Asuka. I haven't been. I don't think I ever will be. Her work inside of the ring is spot on, fantastic. I love that. I'm just not a fan of the Asuka character. That's it. But to see Asuka versus Bianca Belair, I think would be abso-freaking-lutely amazing. And I think that it would make for a great feud. But you're right. Because Becky Lynch, because Becky's name is a power name in the WWE. She seems to be thrust into these situations. Now, if it were me, you're damn right that I would be super happy about it because, well, I'm getting work and I'm getting to work. Totally, 100%. But there comes a time where, yeah, maybe too much is just too much. And maybe it's time for Becky Lynch to maybe make her way to the back of the bus like she's told other people to do and feud with someone else and start making her way back up to the top again. She's definitely going to be on the top again. Technically, she's still on the top. She really is. So I don't know. It's a very difficult situation because of that. Because really, she is still on the top. She's on the top of the women's division. But should she be? I don't know. I need to take a quick drink of my non-sponsored Dr. Pepper for a moment. I don't know. I really don't. Speaking of sponsors, I want to make sure that we hit one of our great sponsors here right now and tell you guys all about manscaped.com. Support for Turnbuckle Talk, as heard on Love Wrestling, is brought to you by Manscaped. Who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world? Manscaped. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code LOVEWRESTLING at manscaped.com. That's right, friends. Whether you are male or female, I don't care. You can all benefit from Manscaped. Go check out manscaped.com. I am not just somebody who promotes, but I also use the products as well, and I abso-freaking-lutely love them. The Lawnmower 4.0 is absolutely amazing. I can use it outside or inside the shower. The Crop Preserver is fantastic. The Ball Toner is amazing, and it makes me smell delightful. Delightful. We have got, oh my goodness, we have got Corporate Joe coming in saying, howdy, K-Man. Good to see you, Joe. I'm so happy that you were able to hop in. I'm assuming that you were probably at work, which is a very typical thing. But yeah, thank you so much for coming in. And Astrid saying hello to you too. I'm hoping that you're seeing that still. Mighty Joe. And she waves. That's fantastic. See, that's the camaraderie that we have here. That's the friendships. That's the love that we have, not only for professional wrestling, but for each other, is that we can come in here and we can make sure that we are, just like Joe says here, I'll put it up on the screen. Joe says, love you, Astrid. See, that's what all of this is about. And I think that this is something that we need to get back to a little bit in the realm of professional wrestling and in the realm of fans of professional wrestling, is maybe taking a look at the good things that are coming out of professional wrestling. So I'm going to take a few minutes here and I'm actually going to talk about one of those good things that are LOL, me too, says Astrid. Joe says, love you, Astrid. Astrid says, me too. I love it. Oh, we're talking about love. Love Pro Wrestling 4. This thing is going off the chains right now. There have been articles that have been written There have been news conferences that have happened, all different stuff revolving around Spencer Love, the creator of Love Wrestling, who has started Love Pro Wrestling. They are now in their fourth show that they're going to be going into. I do want to get to this here just for a moment. Noob coming in with a little bit of the last topic here. He says, I know that the current Asuka character isn't their cup of tea because of the memes, the random Japanese talking, and unless the WWE could have think of an angle to write Asuka off and repackage the character, I know her current character is getting too overhated. You know what? And just to quickly go over that, I'm okay with the Japanese talking. I'm definitely okay with that. I'm just not. I'm not when it comes to Asuka. I'm not a fan of how, and it sounds terrible. It really does. But I'm not a fan of how hyped she actually is. It sounds as though she's screaming all the time when she's talking, and she's so high energy that it's too much for me. She is too much energy for me. That's really all it is. That's all it is. When it comes to energy, the energy is going to be electric inside the wrestling ring at the Rec Room in Edmonton, Alberta for Love Pro Wrestling 4. I'm going to go through the card here for everyone. I'm going to save the special matchup for the last. But we're going to have a scramble match. It's going to consist of Chris Parrish, Lumberjack Larry Woods, Sheik Shabazz, Bharat Garani, Eli Surge, and Sir Kenneth Stryker. That's going to be off the hook. It definitely will be. Scramble matches can sometimes be a bit of a cluster, but I think that this one here, I know a lot of these guys, and I know a lot of these guys will put everything they've got into this to make sure that things come out great for this. Next matchup we have is Kid Chocolate, Mojibari, taking on Son of Irish. Astrid coming in saying, Team Parrish. Damn right we are. Damn right. I love that kid so much. Chris Parrish is absolutely fantastic. He's amazing. I've had the pleasure of being able to work with him in audio form. So it's been fantastic. He's one of my favorite people. He definitely is. His tag team partner, Son of Irish, I think is really going to have his hands full come this matchup with Kid Chocolate. I really do. We talked about women's professional wrestling. Love Pro Wrestling is no different. They like to showcase the women in their professional wrestling shows. So we're going to have Zoe Sager taking on Ava Lawless. I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm very torn on who to cheer for because I'm a fan of both. I'm a fan of, honestly, all the women that are on this card. I'm a fan of all the men that are on this card. It's a stacked card when it comes to like independent talent in Canada. I mean, this is a freaking stacked card. Astrid saying that she totally agrees. She can't pick one on that either because she loves both of them so much. I mean, yeah. I mean, everybody on this card is absolutely fantastic in their own right. They really are. Next matchup, we're going to have Mars the Specialist taking on Stephen Crow. After that, we have a PCW Cruiserweight Championship match. We're going to have Von Vertigo taking on Jack Pride. Jack Pride is one of those characters and people that are absolutely fantastic. Just Google Jack Pride pro wrestler. Watch some of his stuff. Guarantee you'll be excited. Love Pro Wrestling Challenge Championship matchup. Again, we're talking women's professional wrestling. We have got Taryn from Accounting, the current champion, taking on Nicole Matthews. I've been following Nicole Matthews, I would say 15 years now. It has been a long time that I have been following Nicole Matthews. We're going to have another matchup for a new championship, the Love Pro Wrestling Grand Championship ladder match, which is going to see Michael Richard Blaze taking on Golden Boy Travis Williams and Ravenous Randy Myers in a three-way ladder match. That's going to be epic. It definitely will be. I've seen all three of them wrestle, and I know that that's going to be an amazing matchup. Now, the one that everyone is looking forward to the most, I would say, is for a return to Canada. We are going to have Casey Spinelli, who, if you are not following her on her socials and listening to her dad jokes that she comes up with, or listening to any of the jokes that she has, you're missing out. Go and follow her on her socials. Just look her up on Google, on Bing, on DuckDuckGo, on wherever you want to find her, and follow her on her socials, because she is a freaking riot. She is taking on a returning to Canada for the first time in years, one Miss Chelsea Green. That is huge. Chelsea Green, a name that has been out there in so many companies and has made such a great name for herself. And I'm not even going to include who her partner in life is, because that has absolutely no bearing on things right now, because she has done great things for herself. Chelsea is amazing. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to see this as well. There has been some technical difficulties that have happened in the previous broadcasts that they have tried doing live. But if you make sure that you are following, the Love Pro Wrestling on Twitch here, they should be showing this again on the Twitch channel. Love Pro Wrestling. Let me take a look and find all the information here, because I just had it up and I don't know where it went to. The joys of live broadcasts. So Friday, May 22nd at the Rec Room is when it is happening. So make sure that you're following before then, so that you can be notified when things go live. So yeah, that's what you got to do. Just follow Love Pro Wrestling on Twitch here. And I am sure that they are going to once again try to show things live to us. Now, if you are a subscriber to the channel, you will be able to interact in the chat. If you're just a follower of the channel, you'll be able to see the show. But if you subscribe, you'll be able to be part of the live chat as the show happens. So I'm very excited for this, and I'm hoping that things work out. Let's put it out into the universe now, that things will be as they should be for all of this to happen and come together nicely for us. Speaking about things coming together, collaborations happen, and I have collabed with Collar and Elbow brand. Well, maybe not necessarily collabed with them, but Turnbuckle Talk is the first sponsored podcast from Collar and Elbow brand. And we want you to go and visit collarandelbowbrand.com. We've got a deal for you. Take a look at this.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Wrestling, a love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand, the wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
That's right, collarandelbowbrand.com, created by professional wrestler, Hall of Fame professional wrestler, Al Snow. I've been with it since the beginning. Corporate Mighty, Big Joe, whatever you want to call him, we got on at the ground level. Go and check out collarandelbowbrand.com. While you're there, anything that you put into your carts, you're going to have the chance to enter a promo code. Use the promo code JK Podcast, and you're going to get yourself 10% off your entire purchase. So go and check them out. It would be greatly appreciated. Great stuff over there. This hat I've had since the beginning. I've got t-shirts from the beginning, and we're going back like 4 years. 4 years, and they're still going. Great quality stuff over there. Go and check them out. Some not so great quality stuff. I know that I've talked a lot about we need to make sure that we're showing the love. Well, Doug Williams, professional wrestler Doug Williams, if you don't know who that is, look him up. He's gone on and he put a post out on his socials on Twitter. And I'm in full agreement with this because this is something that I have said many times before as well. So he writes, peers. So he's talking to his fellow wrestlers. You need to work on your strikes more. I see awesome high spots, followed by some of the weakest punches, elbows, and kicks I have ever seen. Everything matters. And he is so true in that statement, and especially those two final words. Everything matters. It's becoming a lost art when it comes to just the simple things in a wrestling match. A punch, a kick, a chop, an elbow, a knee in the corner. These simple little things are getting lost because everybody wants to do all that flippy shit that they're seeing happen from cruiserweights or any other, like the Young Bucks. And don't get me wrong, I like the Young Bucks, but they do a lot of that stuff as well, right? They seem to be really over the top. And I get and I understand that a lot of over the top stuff works and that people like it. You take the Hardys, for example. They were always over the top with their stuff, and it worked for them. But not everybody can be over the top. We need to have those guys that are still at the basics, that are very much so mature in their wrestling, but are able to do the simple things and make them work. So Doug Williams, thank you for putting that out there, and I'm glad that I actually saw it. And I'm very happy with that. I want to talk about somebody that can be over the top. I want to talk about Kenny Omega for a moment here. So Kenny Omega was last seen November 13th, 2021. before he decided to take some time because he has had multiple injuries. So early reports actually had a return to action between March and June of this year. Now, according to Kenny Omega, it's going to be more likely October for the AAA Lucha Libre 30, if he is healed enough. He hasn't been totally out of the picture, though, because while recouping from his injuries, he has actually been working on the AEW Fight Forever video game as part of the development team. So he's still got his hands in there, which is absolutely fantastic, while he's recouping. So again, let's throw things out in the universe, and let's make sure that we can see Kenny Omega back in the ring for any company at this point. Because I'm kind of missing Kenny Omega right now. I am. If you guys have not heard of a website called Sportskeeda, I want you to go and check out sportskeeda.com. I have a very good friend over there. His name is Ryan K. Bowman. Through the podcasting world, I've been able to meet some absolutely fantastic and amazing people, and Ryan has been one of them. And through Ryan, I've been able to meet Rick and Jargo, Mr. Melkor, a whole bunch of great people. But Ryan does work for Sportskeeda and does articles for Sportskeeda. You can find it on the Turnbuckle Talk Facebook page at TB Talk Pod, or go to the Sportskeeda page and even search Ryan K. Bowman, and his articles will show up there. But one of the articles that I'd seen that I really want to put into focus for everybody is the article that he did on Alexa Bliss. And yes, I know Alexa Bliss is still one of my favorites. And maybe I'm a little bit partial when I'm saying this, but I want you to go and check out that article as he's talking about this change from the character that she had to going back to almost her roots, and really becoming a shining light in the WWE. Go and check that out. Ryan K. Bowman does so many great things within the Sportskeeda world that you will never be unsatisfied with finding and reading an article that he does. So there's my shout out to my good friend Ryan K. Bowman. Make sure you go and check him out over there at Sportskeeda. I'm going to shout out myself here for a moment, because at one time, Mighty Joe and I decided that we were going to try to start a shop. We were going to do some clothing. We were going to do some merchandise. Well, things really didn't work out and didn't pan out. But we are back. And we are better than ever with even more merchandise available. And it's all available right here. The official Turnbuckle Studio shop is open. Official merchandise from all the favorite shows, plus merchandise you can only find here. Stuff from Turnbuckle Studios. Karl Karufel unboxes. The Boar's Nest with Bubba Duke. Miscellaneous products that you can only find here. Beats and Beatdowns. And Turnbuckle Talk. Find all this merchandise exclusively at karlkarufel.redbubble.com. That's right, everybody. The shop is back open. There are even more items that are listed there now as well, on top of what you just saw and heard. So go and check that out. Astrid saw the video of the little pillow that is there, says that she loves it. There's a plethora of different items that you can get, from coffee mugs to water bottles to travel mug, like a travel coffee mug, pillow. Yes, even a little throw pillow, t-shirts, so many different things there, available in multiple different colors as well. What she is talking about with the pillow is my own creation, because I have a little bit of a problem and an issue with a referee inside of AEW. And that product is the Remsburg Classic, is what I have called it. But it actually says F the Remsburg, because I'm not a fan. So that's what I've done. F the Remsburg. And I will continue to say F the Remsburg. I will actually say the full word over on my personal Twitter page at K Karufel. Go and check that out and give that a follow as well. My last topic for the day is a big one. And it's one that a lot of people have already talked about because of the waves. No. I'm going to change that word. I'm going to say the ripple effect that has come from this. And what I'm talking about is Sasha Banks and Naomi. So as everybody knows by now, Sasha Banks and Naomi were not happy with the way that things were going with them inside the WWE. So they decided that they were going to walk into the office of John Laurinaitis and essentially walk out of Raw. They put their tag team, they were the women's tag team champions. They put the tag team championships on his desk and walked out. Michael Cole then on SmackDown issues an apology on Sasha Banks and Naomi, saying that because of what they've done, they have been stripped of the titles and suspended indefinitely. So now there have been lots of different little things that have gone on, and people have really taken a look at that video closely and seen Pat McAfee's reaction. Now, I guess for some reason, Pat McAfee must not have been within the loop of things, because that reaction that you saw was legitimate surprise from Pat McAfee. Now, lots of people are saying this is their demise. Not meaning Sasha's or Naomi's demise, but they're saying that this is going to be the WWE's demise. Okay, I'm going to be quite frank with everyone. Get your head out of your ass. Get your head out of your ass. This will not be the demise of the WWE because some talent walked out. I am okay with them walking out if that is what they feel they needed to do. I have no problems with that. I think that anybody in any field of work that they're in, if they feel that they need to do that, go ahead and do it. I'm never going to fault them for that. Whether they felt that things were just not going the way that they wanted them to, whether they felt that maybe it was an unsafe work environment, maybe, who knows. But they weren't happy. And if you're not happy, you have to be the one to make that change. You just can't sit there and stew in your own crap and sadness and frustrations, you have to be the person to make that change. And that is exactly what Sasha and Naomi have done. Astrid, yes. I'm going to put this comment up here. Astrid says, I love that they're not only standing up for themselves, but for the women as a whole. Yes. And I 100% agree with that. I 100% stand behind them for being, as one would say, a voice for the voiceless. Especially in a time where it's hard, not only for women, but for men and women, for workers. No matter where you're working, it's hard for someone to really take a stand and be that voice, because in this day and age, everybody is expendable. And before you even walk out that door, there is already a post put up for your position. So the two of them taking this stand for not only themselves, but for all of the women as a whole is commendable in my books. What I'm not happy with is the way that people are taking this and saying, because of them standing up, because of them taking this stand, because of them having their voice being heard, not only on social media, but in multiple news outlets across the globe, the entire world has been talking about this. People are now saying that this is going to be the demise of the WWE. So to end things off here for this week, I'm going to give you a little bit of a list. So people are saying that things that WWE can't survive. Sasha and Naomi walking out. But apparently, things that the WWE could survive. And I've got a list here. Jimmy Snuka and the death of Nancy Argentina. Losing Hulk Hogan to WCW. Hulk Hogan, who was their biggest star, who still is synonymous when it comes to professional wrestling. If anybody ever says the WWF, people think Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan left and went to WCW. The WWE survived. The New Generation. Yeah, if you don't know about the New Generation era, they survived. The Montreal Screwjob. The WWE survived. The Curtain Call. The WWE survived. Nitro. WCW's Monday Nitro beating Raw in the ratings for 83 consecutive weeks. The WWE survived. Owen Hart's death at Over the Edge in 1999. Rest well, Owen. That date actually just passed. And all the controversy that came with that. The WWE survived. Going through the court systems with a steroid scandal, the WWE survived. The World Wildlife Fund making the World Wrestling Federation change their name in 2002, they've survived. The plane ride from hell, they've survived. At one time, together, the WWE lost their biggest stars of that time. Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Brock Lesnar. The WWE is still running. The death of Eddie Guerrero. They've survived. Chris Benoit. They've survived. In 2010 and 2011, they lost Shawn Michaels, Batista, and Edge. Again, biggest stars. They've survived. CM Punk leaving in 2014. They survived. Brock Lesnar breaking The Undertaker's streak. They've survived. John Cena becoming a part-timer. They've survived. Hulk Hogan's racist comments. They've survived. The Saudi Arabia partnership. They've survived. COVID-19. They've survived. And having a WWE Hall of Famer with a DUI record longer than the country itself, who has ultimately taken someone's life because of their actions. Very recently, the WWE has still survived. So through all of those things, the WWE has continued on. Is this going to be a shakeup? Oh, hell yes, it definitely is. What is happening right now with Sasha Banks and Naomi is definitely going to shake things up inside the company of the WWE. But this isn't going to be their demise. As much as one would like to think so, it's not going to be. The WWE is going to continue to survive, just as they have done multiple times through all of this that has happened throughout the years, throughout the 50 plus years that the company has been in existence for. They're going to survive. Sasha Banks is going to survive. Naomi is going to survive. Quite frankly, I think that both of those women and the stand that they're making are not only going to survive, but they're going to damn well thrive. Because they're going to have multiple companies coming to them, wanting to bring them on. Even though right now it's just a suspension indefinitely, we have no clue what's going to happen or where that's going to go. We don't know the direction that any of that is going to go either. But they're going to thrive. They're going to do just fine. And that makes me happy. The stand that they're making makes me happy. And I'm happy to end things off on a positive note here, because that's what we need to do. And I'm so thankful to each and every one of you for coming by once again and spending an hour's time with me here on Turnbuckle Talk. You guys are all amazing. I look forward to talking with all of you once again. I love you all. Remember, everyone, life can be hard. So let's take care of each other.